Today we are going to be taking notes on locating integers on a number line. First, let's review some of the vocabulary words that we have learned. Our choices are opposites, integers, and absolute value. So let's look at letter A. All positive whole numbers, they're opposites and 0. Those are integers. The distance a number away is from 0. That is our absolute value. And numbers that are the same distance away from 0 but on a different side, those are opposites. So let's practice with some of these. It says write the opposite of each integer. Well, opposites are numbers the same distance away from 0 but on different sides. So for number 4 it says the opposite of 7, that would be -7. The opposite of 1,991 would be -1,991. And then the opposite of -16 would be +16. So then it asks us to write the absolute value of each integer. So absolute value is the distance a number is away from 0, and we have to remember that absolute value is always positive. So where it says the absolute value of -2, the answer is 2. -2 is 2 spaces away from 0. We need to be careful on number 8. First, we find the absolute value right here of -100. Well, that's +100. But this negative outside the absolute value sign, we need to bring down. So my answer for this one is actually -100. And then for number 9, the absolute value of 88, again, absolute value is always positive, so it's still 88. Now it wants us to write an integer, positive or negative number for each situation. So if we are doing a gain of 1,400 feet in elevation, we are climbing up a mountain, let's say, we are including this as a positive number. It is a gain. Now on 11, if we dive 10 feet below the water surface, that would be a -10 because we went below the surface. And for number 12, if we are spending $35, that's $35 that's being taken out of our bank account. That's a -35. Now down here it says we want to write an integer for each point on the number line. So I look at letter J, which is located right here, and I want to know what point that's at. Well, let me look at my number line. I have 0, skip a line, and then -2. So I know they are counting by even numbers here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the numbers that are missing in the negative direction. That makes it easier for me. So now I can look at J and I say, oh, well, that's -3. Let's look at K. K is located at 4, +4. If I look at L, again, it's already labeled there for me, that is a 2. M, right here, we're looking for -6 on that one. N, since I already numbered the rest of my number line, I know that it's a -1. And P is kind of in the same situation right here. It's between 0 and 2. What number is between 0 and 2? 1. All right, now if we flip to the next page, it says mark these integers on the number line. So I'm given a number line from 0 to +10 and -10. I'm going to start with my first problem given to me, absolute value of -4. I know that that is a +4. So I'm going to come over to my number line, start at 0, and count 4 spaces to the positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to label it with a 4. Now I need to label -9. So again, I come to my number line, I start at 0, and I'm going to count all the way down here to -9. It's going to come right before -10. Remember on the number line it goes -1, -2, and so on. Now I want +8, so I'm going to start at 4 and go 5, 6, 7, 8, and label that one. Notice I'm putting dots on the line, not above the line, to label my number line. And then look at this last one over here. We talked about this earlier. The absolute value of -5 is +5, but that little negative out there we need to bring down, and I want -5. So I start at 0 and go -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. 5. That's all you have to do to mark them on a number line. Now, on the next tables, it says fill in the missing integer. Well, it tells me my integer is 6, so let me use the number line that's below it. Let me find 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want 1 unit less. So if I go to 6 and I go 1 less, that's going to put me at 5. Remember, we say left is less. So if I want less, I go to the left. Now from 6, it's asking me for 2 units more. So I start at 6 and I go 1, 2. And of course that puts me at 8. All right, so let's do another integer. Let's start at -8. Go to 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8 is right there. 1 unit less. Remember, left is less. That means I go to the left. And 1 less than -8 is going to be -9. And if I want 2 units more, I go -8, -7, -6. All we are doing is using the number line to count back and forth the correct direction. That is it. So now I have -4 as my integer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 unit less, left is less, would put me right here at -5. And then 2 units more, I'm now going to the right. So I start at -4, I go 1, 2, and that puts me at -2. And for my last one on this table, I want 7. I know that's between 6 and 8. 1 unit less, left is less, puts me at 6. 2 units more would be 1, 2. And on my number line, that lands me at a 9. All right, so now let's look at this last table. This one tells me to start at my integer of 0 and go 5 units to the left. Now I'm dealing with directions. All right, so now I'm going to the left, 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to put me at a -5. Now if I go 3 units to the right, again, I'm starting at 0. I go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to end up at a +3. All right, my next integer says, hey, let's start at that -5. We already put that on here. Go 5 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that we ended at -10. Now if I start here and go 3 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, I am now at -2. Now we're starting here at a +3. I already have that. That's nice. 5 units to the left. All right, now I'm going to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I land right there, -2, already labeled for us. Now if I start at 3 and I go 3 units to the right, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And my last table, I'm going to start at this -2 and go 5 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That lands me at -7. And then finally I start at -2 again and go 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. And that lands me at number 1.